just have to go back a little. Welcome back to Troopy in Africa. Today we're leaving super early on an adventure that is going to test me personally. I've got a long day's drive ahead of me and no accommodation planned for tonight. Good morning from a cold Karoo. I'm just outside Beaufort West, having just left Cape Town. And I am very excited to be heading out on this trip. I've been planning for a couple of months now. I will be going completely solo to Botswana and the Central Kalahari. So a good old-fashioned road trip in South Africa isn't a road trip if you don't have a wimpy toasted sami in your hand. Wanting to be close to the border, I found a great place on overlander close to Stella in the Northwest Province. So this is Patrick, and this is Hercules, and they run the campsite called
Camille Rus en Vrede.
Camille Rhino Sanctuary. How long have you guys done it?
8 years.
8 years, yeah.
8 years.
Yeah.
It's got good reviews on iOverlander. So I'm just talking to Patrick over here, and his son, he owns a
Broadway 4x4 shop in Gaborone.
So if you're looking for any urgent things that you forgot at home on your way to Botswana, what is it called again?
Broadway.
Broadway 4x4 in Gaborone. Patrick's delivering my bread. Look at this. Whoa.
How lovely to have you
Ah,
here.
how lovely to have you here. And I'll just tell you something, this bread is hot. It's still hot. Yummy. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Enjoy.
Well, the fire's going over there. I'm finishing off some bits and pieces in the Troopy of work, because when you go away, it's not that easy, but you do enjoy a good refreshing drink. Good morning to everybody. It is now 4:30 in the morning. I've not been able to sleep. Too excited to get to Botswana and stressing about whether I've got the right documents, and yeah, more on that later. But yeah, I'm getting a nice early start so that I'm there when the border post opens this morning. Leaving super early gave me the opportunity to test out the new spotlights, and at the same time reflect on how awesome Patrick and Hercules had been the night before. I'd forgotten some of my documents, and so they very kindly offered for me to email it to them, and they printed it all for me. So I went to the border fully equipped with all the documents I needed. Arriving at the South African border. So that is us leaving South Africa, and now we head to Botswana. You can see the morning is starting to happen and the car is revving. We're at the border with Botswana, about to check in. The Troopy is officially in Botswana. And we're now heading out to Gab's, go get some food. I think I'm gonna get there super early. I left early this morning. So yeah, let's go. And there we enter Botswana with a beautiful sunrise and a whole series of goats crossing the road here. There's a part of me that wants to go like Itchy Boots. Welcome to Botswana! Anyway, let's go. So I've been staring at this on the front seat all morning. So I've decided I'm going to dive into it with some of the leftovers. The question is, chicken or sausage? Chicken's tasting very good. Put some chicken on there. All I can say is, Hercules, you're a whiz with the bread. That's good. Not a bad spot. My roadside breakfast over, we headed to Gaborone to do some shopping. So they've especially wrapped mine. A man in the back there, busy vacuuming my steaks. This is my sirloin steaks, that's perfect, man. What's your name?
Tumo.
Huh? Tumo?
Yes, sir.
How's it? I'm Tim. Thanks, man. Cheers. So I got 8 sirloin steaks there. Thanks, man. Shopping complete. I headed to my first night in Botswana at the Rhino Sanctuary. Here we are at Rhino Sanctuary. Because we are not booked in for tonight, so I'm really hoping that they have accommodation, at least a campsite for us. So there we go. They've managed to find me some accommodation, and we're going to go and find that now. Maybe go check out the restaurant, have a beer, and then decide whether we go for a little bit of a game drive. Campsites and chalets. One of the little things that I love about the Rhino Sanctuary and their campsites is that when you're en route to the campsite, you go through these twists and turns in the bushveld, and you feel like you're on a little bit of an adventure getting to your campsite. So this is our campsite. Pretty awesome little spot here. Very cool. So we found our campsite, campsite C, and I'm not going to set up anything. I decided it's 4:20, sunset's at 6 o'clock. We've got till 6 o'clock to do a little bit of a game drive, a little sunset cruise. Cheers. I just spilled some of that. Fun of games. Tour bus is coming in. So this track is busy to the campsite. Apparently they're fully booked tonight. They squeezed me in on campsite C. I'm following these two guys. I don't know who they are on the way out. So this is the only downside of a single track road between the bushes. One, you don't get to see what others have seen, and two, you keep getting the cars coming from the front, and three, they stop for the things they want to stop for, not for the things that you want to stop for. I'm going to say that's fresh rhino gun. I'm sitting waiting again. Story of my life on this track with these two cars. Please tell me they're not birders. No offense to any birders, just yeah, I want to get into the sanctuary before the sun sets. Oh my, it is right here. We have a rhino right on. Walking through the bush with these guys. I'm not getting a good sight of them. So the downside of a busy nature reserve is the people in front of you are tracking the rhino and I'm getting nothing of it. 2x4 in the Rhino Sanctuary. In the soft sand, we're going to see if we can get them out. They're digging it out. I'm just going to check the tire pressure quick. Bit of fun for the day. So we're going to take the max tracks, as everyone says. You bring them along and you never use them, but you always recover somebody else that does. You can push record, eh? Yeah. So now we're going to try and get this out. Push it in.
Okay, stop.
You're going to have to recover. Right. So the max tracks are not pulling him out. So we're going to have to get recovery gear. The guys on the... It's a 2x4 and only one wheel spins at the back, which is crazy. And now we're taking tow run. Huh?
Yeah, take a photo.
You can't tie there.
Yeah,
No, there's no place to tie there.
Yeah.
Only in the front.
Voilà.
This is the situation we find ourselves in. Got to take up the slack. We have a game viewing vehicle ahead of us. That bit of fun is now over. I couldn't use the max tracks. They weren't doing anything because the thing was so buried in. And now we are bouncing along, and I'm hoping he keeps track. He's behind me over there. We had to use the snatch strap, tow rope. The action of the day's recovery is over. I return to the waterhole and discovered this beautiful male rhino. I ended up spending the rest of the afternoon just simply watching him drinking and wallowing at the water. As the sun set, it was truly spectacular and one of those moments I'd hoped for on this trip. Just when I thought it couldn't get any better, he left the waterhole and headed straight for me. And you'll see just now, he even turned to charge at one point. With his bath all done, he went straight to his personal scratching post and enjoyed a good rub down. And a very good morning to you all. I am up. It is 6:30. I'm in Rhino Sanctuary and we are going to go for a little game drive right now. So we have packed up everything. I got up at 5:30 to make my coffee. I'm busy practicing making my coffee in the Troopy, because between you and me, I'm still a little apprehensive, nervous about this whole CKGR thing with the lions. So I'm just seeing if I can do it all in the Troopy without having to get out. which seems to be going okay. Yeah, now I think I'm going the wrong way. Let me check. No, I was going the right way. The Garmin is still trying to find the satellites after yesterday, so. So I was just at a bird hide over there. Jeez, man, when the tourists come, that thing gets full. Can't hear the birds chirping in the trees. So I've just decided to leave that little bird hide, which was quite nice, and just continue driving, trying to stay ahead of the tour groups. So anyway, I think tomorrow morning I need to get out at least a half an hour before everyone else will be. Yeah, we're just cruising through the bush here, seeing if we can find something. Hopefully we get So I've come across 2 or 3 of these large mounds of, I'm assuming is rhino dung, but they're concentrated in one spot. I have no idea why the rhino would come back to the same spot more than once. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below. Pretty cool when you get out, you can actually see the rhino footprints. Another one. Another one. radical structure in the middle of Khama Rhino Sanctuary. Should we go up it? Looks a bit hair-raising to me. I'm going to try and go to the top of that thing. Right, we climbed up through that. I gotta say, I'm freaking shaking. Not only am I shaking, but the entire platform is shaking. I don't know where they found these single length gum poles, but they must be almost 12 meters long to get us up here. Well, let's have a look around. Tonight, we've been put on the site with someone else. So Bigfoot Adventures and Ultimate Routes, I think, work hand in hand doing bookings, and they've managed to secure me a booking, but I have to share the large site with someone tonight. But fortunately, I'm the first one at this site. Look at these trees. Oh, ain't that beautiful? So we are going to make some breakfast. It's actually 11:23, but the game viewing was fun, was enjoyable. Kind of like a Spanish omelette, looking pretty good. Here we are, sitting at Rhino Sanctuary in Botswana. Just had a magnificent drive this morning. Last night's sighting of the rhino at sunset was just magic. I hope we can repeat that tonight. So the one big question I've been asked in planning for this trip was, why did you choose the Central Kalahari, the CKGR? Being an ex-Johannesburg boy, I do miss the African bush, and I do miss the animals. I came across a YouTube by, again, Roland from My Life in Africa, and it turns out he and 3 others, Ed Barth, Ryan from 4x4 Ventures, and Christoph from Get Out Go, had embarked in, I think, 2020 or 2021, a north-south expedition through the Central Kalahari down to the CKGR Game Reserve. And I started watching they're all YouTubers. I watched all 4 of their series. Brilliant. They had some amazing rain weather, but looking at those videos just got me super excited. So to you four guys, thank you. I owe a debt of gratitude. It is because of you guys that I've been inspired to do this. And I think that's what YouTube is about. It's about inspiring others to do other things. I had a chat with Roland, who then said, why don't you talk to these guys, Ultimate Routes? And they're just up the road in Paarl from us. So I chatted to Lee from Ultimate Routes, and she said, sure, let me see what I can do. Let me see what accommodation I can find for you. And wow, credit to her and her team. Those dudes, they just came back with options, and then slowly but surely we narrowed it down. Yeah, that set it in motion. Lee sent me a booking confirmation, and all I had to do was pay. And here I'm sitting in Rhino Sanctuary. I wouldn't have thought of this. So to Lee and the team, thanks very much. So, CKGR. I'm pushing my boundaries. I honestly am. I have never camped on my own for longer than 3 days, and definitely not camped on my own in the wild with predators. So this is me pushing my boundaries. I'm going to see how that goes. I am really nervous and apprehensive about being in the CKGR on my own with lion and hyena and that roam your camp. I am very happy I've got the Troopy. I'm busy playing with the setup today, just trying to tweak it so that I can be able to move around inside at night and not have to be outside if I'm not feeling comfortable. The big challenge, I'll be honest, with the Troopy, with the conversion, is the carrying of the wood. If you've got a solid top and a roof rack, you can carry wood. CKGR, you need all your wood, all your water, all your fuel, and all your food. I think I'm remote for 7 or 8 days in the CKGR, and then we'll see where we go. We might just go off to Jack's Pan and see if we can have a look and see what that's about. I have a deep desire to see animals in the bush and feel the presence of Africa. And the best place to do that is here in Botswana. I have been offered a springbokkie. Kan you see? Huh? Tim? Oh, you did.
That's a springbok.
Cheers.
That's right, cheers. That's right.
To Bok van Blad tomorrow and the night after, hey?
And for good times. Yeah.
Misschien Bok van Blad uses his voice. No, he won't.
I came across those rhino passing me on the road, 4 of them, with one with a baby, but disappeared quite quickly into the bush and was straight in front of me with the sun, so I couldn't really capture it quite decently. What's fascinating is watching the Botswana Defence Force wandering around here in their trucks. We arrived at that waterhole to look at that couple, the baby and the mother, and then there are 2 other adults further away, and the Defence Force were dropping off soldiers who were given their rifles and some food. I looked like a pack of food or something like that, and they then wandered off and promptly made themselves comfortable under a bush near the waterhole, which is brilliant. I think they are doing a sterling job, obviously, protecting the rhino here at Rhino Sanctuary from poachers.